Hey everyone, and welcome back to the TalkUp English Channel. I'm Brian, and it's fantastic to be here with my brilliant co-host, Chloe. How are you today, Chloe?
Hi, Brian. I'm doing great, thank you. I'm really excited about today's topic because it's something that can be a little confusing for English learners. We're going to make it simple and clear.
Absolutely. Today, we're talking about three very important verbs that you use to talk about obligations and necessities. Have to, need to, and must. We'll help you understand the differences and use them correctly.
Yes, these verbs might seem similar, but they have different feelings and uses. We'll break it down with lots of easy examples. Our goal is for you to feel confident when you use them.
We'll speak slowly and clearly. As always, you can listen to us and repeat the phrases. This is a great way to practice your pronunciation. Let's dive right in.
Let's start with have to. This is probably the most common one you will hear in everyday conversation. We use have to for something that is an obligation or rule. It's something you must do because of an external force, like a law, a boss, or a school rule. It's not a personal choice.
That's a great way to explain it, Chloe. Think of it as a rule or a duty. The obligation comes from outside of you. You don't have a choice.
Exactly. Let's think of some simple examples. Imagine you are a student. You have to go to school on weekdays. It's a rule. So you say, I have to go to school. Let's practice that. Repeat after me. I have to go to school.
Another example, in most countries, you have to pay taxes. It's a law. So you say, we have to pay taxes. Let's repeat that one. We have to pay taxes.
Or for work, your boss gives you a task. You have to finish it. So you say, I have to finish this report by Friday. The obligation comes from your boss. Let's practice. I have to finish this report by Friday.
That's very clear. Have to is for a duty or a rule. And a very important thing to remember is the negative form. Don't have to. This means there is no obligation. It's not necessary.
That's a key difference. Don't have to means you have a choice. For example, on Saturday, I don't have to go to school. So, I don't have to go to school on Saturday. I can go if I want, but it's not a rule. Let's practice. I don't have to go to school on Saturday.
Another example, you don't have to wear a suit to the meeting. This means it's not a rule. You can wear a suit if you want, but you have a choice. Repeat after me. You don't have to wear a suit.
So remember, have to is for an external rule, and don't have to is when there is no rule.
Now, let's move on to the next one. Need to. This one is a little different from have to. We use need to talk about a necessity. It's something that is important to do, often a personal necessity or a necessity for a good result. The necessity comes from inside you or from the situation, not from a strict external rule.
I like that. The necessity is internal. For example, imagine my refrigerator's empty. It is a necessity for me to buy some food. No law says I must, but it's important for me personally. So I say, I need to go to the supermarket. Let's practice. I need to go to the supermarket.
Exactly. Or, for example, a test is coming up. It's important to study to get a good grade. So you say, I need to study for the test. Your teacher doesn't have to tell you. You understand that it is important. Repeat after me. I need to study for the test.
So with need to, the necessity is personal or logical. It's not a rule from someone else. It's what you understand you should do. We can also use the negative form, don't need to. This is very similar to don't have to. It means it is not necessary. For example, you don't need to bring a present to the party. It's not a necessity. You can bring one if you want, but you don't have to.
Let's practice that. You don't need to bring a present. So have to is about a rule. Need to is about a necessity, a requirement for a good outcome.
And now for our final verb, must. This one is very strong. It expresses a strong obligation, often with a feeling of importance from the speaker. It can be a rule, but it is often a personal feeling of duty or strong advice. It can also be a more formal way to give a rule.
That's a good point. Must feels more intense. It's like a very strong have to. For example, a doctor might tell a patient, you must take this medicine 3 times a day. This sounds very serious. It's a very strong rule for their health. Let's practice. You must take this medicine.
In a library, there is a strong rule about being quiet, so you might see a sign that says, visitors must be quiet. This is a very strong obligation. Repeat after me. Visitors must be quiet.
We also use must for a personal feeling of strong obligation. For example, my friend helped me a lot. I feel a strong desire to thank them. I can say, I must thank my friend. This is my strong internal feeling. It's not a rule, but it feels very important to me. Let's practice. I must thank my friend.
Now, a very important point about must. The negative form, must not or mustn't, means it is forbidden. It is a very strong rule. It is the opposite of don't have to. For example, in a factory, you might see a sign, you must not touch this machine. This means it is a rule that you cannot do it. Repeat after me. You must not touch this machine.
This is a big difference. Don't have to means it's not necessary, but must not means it is forbidden. You don't have to go. You can go if you want. You must not go. You are not allowed to go. This is a key point to remember.
Comparing have to, need to, and must. Okay, so let's compare all three in a few situations. This will help you understand the difference in feeling.
Let's think about a homework assignment. You could say, I have to do my homework. This is correct. The teacher gave you a rule. You could also say, I need to do my homework. This is also correct. It's a personal necessity to get a good grade. But you probably wouldn't say, I must do my homework. It sounds too formal or too dramatic for this situation.
That's a great example. Have to is the most natural for this. Let's try another one. Talking about a law. You could say, you have to wear a seatbelt in the car. This is a very common way to say it. You could also say, you must wear a seatbelt in the car. This is also correct, and it sounds a bit more serious and official. You wouldn't say, you need to wear a seatbelt. It's not a personal choice. It's a rule.
So for a law, have to and must are both good, but have to is more common in daily speech.
Let's try one more. Imagine you are talking to a friend about a personal need. You could say, I need to save money. This is a good way to say it. It's a personal necessity for you. You could also say, I have to save money. This is also okay, but it might sound like someone or something is forcing you to do it, maybe your parents or a bank. You could say, I must save money. This sounds very, very strong. It's like a promise you made to yourself.
So the feeling is different. Have to is for rules, need to is for personal necessities, and must is for strong obligation, often formal or internal.
Exactly. And in daily spoken English, especially in the US and UK, we use have to a lot more than must. Must is often used in writing, in official rules, or for very strong personal feelings.
Okay, everyone, now it's time for our shadowing practice. This is your chance to speak out loud. I will say some important phrases, and I want you to repeat after me. We'll use all three verbs. Are you ready? Let's start with have to.
I have to go to work. We have to follow the rules.
Now for need to. I need to buy some milk.
She needs to rest.
And now for must.
You must be on time.
I must try harder. Let's practice the negative forms. I don't have to work on Sunday.
We don't need to hurry.
And the strong negative, must not.
You must not be late.
You must not forget. Excellent work, everyone. You are doing so well. Keep practicing these phrases and remember to use these verbs in your daily life.
That was a fantastic session, Chloe. I think this will really help our listeners understand the differences.
I hope so. The key is to remember the feeling of each word: rule, necessity, or strong obligation.
Remember, learning English is a journey. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
If you enjoyed this episode and found it useful, please give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends who are also learning English. This helps us reach more students around the world.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the TalkUp English channel. We release new lessons, tips, and fun English practice every week.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep practicing, keep learning, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everyone.
See you next time.